So this morning I am going to be back on the Mississinewa River again, but this time I'm starting at I'm in Mathews, a town called Mathews, and this is a Cumberland covered bridge behind me. I'm putting in here and doing, I'm not quite sure, I'll have to check again on the mileage, but I'm gonna put my canoe in here and go to a small town called Gas City, and there's a city park there where I'll take out. But right now I'm going to load my canoe, leave it here. I'm driving to Gas City and then getting a ride back, put in my canoe, and then my truck will be waiting for me at the other side. So now I'm going to drive the truck, leave it at the city park at Gas City, and that way I can just put in the water here and just take my time, and I don't have to guess when I'm going to be someplace and have somebody waiting there for me. My truck will be there waiting, and I'll be able to just take my time and come back at my own leisure. So off to Gas City. So it was maybe a 20-minute drive to Gas City. My dad met me there. I left my truck there. He hauled me back here to the bridge, and it'll take me 5 or 6 hours to travel what took us 20 minutes to drive in the truck. But the fog is starting to lift a little bit. I think it's like 38 degrees probably today. I think it's a perfect day to be on the water. So a couple of things that are pretty important on an outing like this, especially when you're alone. Somebody should know where you're at and where you're headed. And secondly, it's a good idea to get online before you do a section of river and find out if there are any hazards on that river, especially like a low-head dam, where the current on the backside of that low-head dam can create a swirl, and if you try to go over it, you can get caught up in the swirl and it'll just tumble you and not let you surface. So I have an app on my phone, and it shows me, and actually you can go to the DNR website. DNR website will tell you the height of the dam, how much fall in the water, and it'll tell you if it's a partial dam or if it'll tell you the status. And I recommend that to anybody who's going to be on the water, to know where those hazards are. And sometimes you can just go over them because they're partial and they'll just be a fast running. Other times you need to get out and go around. It's not safe. So that's my advice for anybody who's going to take on little sections of river and enjoy it while they're out there. So That's my little 2 cents of advice. So the difference between this trip and the other section that I ran of this very same river just last week, this is probably 20 river miles from where I ended last week, and the river's not much wider than it was where I ended that section. But there is a good significant amount. There's a significant amount of more water here than there was back there. It's all clear. I can see it's probably waist deep. And it may not appear it, but it's actually flowing. It's flowing well. So even not paddling, canoe just continues to carry on downriver. Very enjoyable piece so far. I hope it all stays like this. So here's one of the things that I've really come to like about doing these little river sections, in that this is March 16th, and if I was to have gone to a state park somewhere today and wanted to hike some trails, well, here anywhere in Indiana, it's flat enough. As you go along, you're going to go up over a ledge, and you're going to go over a little hill, and you're going to see people, you're going to see barns and buildings. And I'm sure that if I'd come and just go up over those banks right there, those high banks, I could see houses. But down here in the river, you just feel like you're in the wilderness. And you never see anybody on the river, especially this time of year. But it's just really like you're just really out here alone. And seeing the wood ducks. The wood ducks don't let you get very close. But I've seen a bunch of wood ducks off in the distance flying away, and tons and tons of Canada geese already. But very peaceful. Very just being alone with your thoughts out in nature. Yeah, and it could be nicer, it could be sunny, but I'll go hiking on a sunny day. Today it might get a little bit brighter out, but I think it's going to be cloudy all day, so this is just a really nice float here on this Mississinewa River. So the temperature has actually risen quite a bit. There's a light breeze now, and it's got my fingers cold, and I had to put my coat back on. But this is just a wonderful day of listening to birds, and I just saw a group of, I would guess it was probably close to 20 turkeys. They were high on the one bank, and they took the flight and they flew across the width of this river, landed on the other side, and ran up on the other high bank on the other side. I've never seen that before. That was pretty neat. This is just a really, really nice day. Traffic noise is getting louder and louder, and I can see the trucks going by up there. I'm just to the point where I'm just about to pass underneath the interstate, and still having a great time. So the different ways that they make all these bridges is kind of neat. One was steel bottom with concrete on top. The interstate had concrete and then steel decking for the road deck. Where this one's arched and all concrete with a nice concrete railing on the side. So I finally made it to the city park of Gas City. I put in about 10:30 and it's now about 4 o'clock. So that'll give you an idea if you want to do this stretch. It's about 13 miles from what I can tell. And I was paddling the whole way. So if you're the kind of person who's just going to be floating, then it's going to take much longer. But yeah, I was paddling pretty much the whole distance. And another safe trip down the river. Thanks for watching.